Sup, Mackened here, and on August 30th, 2012, I went to see my hero, creator of Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, live in Ronnie Scott's bar in London. Early in the afternoon, I was waiting to try and meet Seth MacFarlane outside Ronnie Scott's venue, and here's an example of the scene. Anyway, after about 2 hours of waiting, Seth MacFarlane finally arrived, and he just walked in the venue to soundcheck and he didn't sign anything. It was disappointing. Here's a clip.
Hello, look at you guys.
Hey Seth.
Hi Seth.
Cool.
Afterwards.
Oh well, that's an afternoon wasted.
Nope.
Bye Seth. Wow. Anyway, during his time in the venue, I went to the toilet inside Ronnie Scott's. Now, I wasn't allowed in the main room, but I went to the toilet, so when I came back up the stairs, the door swung open, and I saw Seth rehearsing, just sitting there on the mic singing, and that was pretty cool. I didn't get a clip of that, because I wasn't gonna bring my camera to the toilet and stuff, but I went back outside, and waited again, and eventually he came back out, and again he didn't sign anything, so here's a clip.
Wait.
You do one again.
You waited all this time, you promised her. I said. Chelsea. No, listen, we're on a tight schedule, so he's coming back, so you know, it's just finally back.
You'll be on a tight schedule when he comes back. What time are you back?
I'm sorry, I'm not the guy.
Oh well.
Later.
So yeah, as you can tell, everyone was really disappointed, but he was running late, he didn't really have time, plus it was on a public street, so if he stopped, everyone would just mob him, like members of the public, so maybe it was in his best interest to just get in the car and go and wait until the actual gig to meet people, which I went to the actual gig and it was fucking amazing. Best gig I've ever been to. There were so many funny things going on. I have a few examples and a couple of things on video, but I'll just tell you some stuff now. Ronnie Scott's has this policy of no videos, no photographs, so I had to get really sneaky with the videos. Here's a video of me heckling Seth and he owns me. So basically, I shout, "Down syndrome girl!" Here's a clip.
Alright, what do you want to do here, buddy?
Down syndrome girl!
Down syndrome girl!
Yes, yes!
No, I don't think this is the place for that. It is. Okay, well, you know, let's keep moving.
See, he thought I was Scottish. It took until the end of the show where I told him I was Welsh. And here's when I heckle something ridiculous. I heckle for Seth Green, his Family Guy co-star, voice of Chris Griffin, to get on stage.
That's somebody else.
Get Seth Green up here.
You know you're not in your house, right? Sorry, you're fat. What would you do if it were round? What would you call it then? This is my globule. Come over.
So yeah, it looks like I just got owned by Brian and Stewie, and that is fucking amazing. Anyway, those are the only 2 videos I had of heckling him, but I heckled him much more during the show, and I'm gonna try my best to act out and remember exactly what I shouted and what he replied, so let's go. I can't remember what I shouted, but I shouted something to Seth MacFarlane and he said to me, "I didn't understand a word of that, you must be Scottish." You know, I'm a Scotsman, from many dicks ago, and I found that funny as fuck. Also, one time I shout, "We love you, Seth!" And he says, "I love you too," in Stewie's voice, and that cracked me up, and I shouted, "We love you, Stewie!" And he goes, "Oh yes, you made that very clear." That made my life. Stewie Griffin told me he loved me. Epic. I also shouted at him, "Road to Rhode Island!" And he says, "Road to Rhode Island? Where are on the road to Rhode Island. It was so cool. He sung a little bit for me. It was just amazing because that's my favourite Family Guy song. He didn't actually play the full song, but he sang that a little bit. Another point in the show, I shouted him, "Do Carter Pewterschmidt!" And then he replies to me, "Why don't you do Carter Pewterschmidt?" Anyway, during the interval, I went over, Seth was just sitting on a table, I went over to talk to him and I just said, "Hey Seth, good show man, my surname's MacFarlane too, because my surname is actually MacFarlane." And he was like, "Oh, cool." And it was a nice little meeting. He's very different off stage and on stage. He's just such a nice guy off stage, very calm, very mellow. But on stage, he's cracking the jokes, he's all funny, it's amazing. But such a down-to-earth guy off stage. At the end of the show, we played the freaking FCC of Family Guy, and this was the most amazing part. Before the song, he says, "Who here likes Family Guy?" And everyone cheers, and then he points at me, because I was the main heckler and shouting the Family Guy references, and he says, "I know this guy does, Mr. Glasgow." And I shouted, "I'm from Cardiff!" And he said, "Oh, Cardiff?" I was way off. It was just funny, the creator of Family Guy acknowledging me as the fan, it was fucking brilliant. Anyway, so people were being hurried out of the show because there was an evening performance of some kind happening afterwards, so like all the, you know, Seth MacFarlane gig goers were being told to leave so that the rest could come in. So in the rush of being asked to leave, I went over to Seth, he was sitting on the table, and I got a quick, really crappy video with him because the lighting is shit and the camera battery was like almost dying, it was flashing, and I didn't have much time. So it is the shittest, most rushed video ever, but this is me with Seth MacFarlane, so it's fucking awesome. Here is the video of me with Seth MacFarlane. This is me with Seth MacFarlane, if you can see him in the dark, yeah. Hey, there he is, there he is. Hey, how's it going? Hey, there you go. Anyway, lucky that's a Family Guy, here he is. There you can see him. We can barely see him, but this is Seth MacFarlane, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Seth.
Pleasure.
Yep, what a terrible video, but it was the only chance I had to get a video with Seth MacFarlane, and all the circumstances were against me, so I wish I could have got a better, longer video and maybe do an impression, but that's what we get, just me going, "Hey, it's me with Seth MacFarlane, look, it's Seth MacFarlane, hey, thanks Seth." Yeah, but whatever, it's a video of me with Seth MacFarlane and I am really pleased with it. Anyway, that was the best gig I've ever been to in my life and one of the best days of my life ever. I met Seth MacFarlane, who is Peter Griffin, Brian Griffin, Stewie Griffin, Carter Pewterschmidt, Tom Tucker, Glenn Quagmire, Stan Smith, Roger, Ted, Tim the Bear. He has just so many great characters and I'm really, really privileged that I've met him. Thank you for a great day, Seth. Thanks for being a great sport with the heckling. And just thank you for such an intimate, great gig. Really great. And if anyone wants to see Seth MacFarlane live, I highly recommend you do. It is an amazing show. Anyway, I've been Mackened. Goodbye.